Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. This is my first video here. My name is Nobella. I live in Canada. I am Burundian. I grew up in Burundi, and so I did not know what to do as an introduction video, and I had asked on my Instagram what made you guys follow me, because I guess that's something I will share another time, but I was like, God, what makes people want to follow me? And so I asked that, and I realized that a lot of people started following me when I started opening up about grief on social media. And I was like, you know what? Now that I'm on the other side of grief where everything no longer hurts, how about I share that first? How about I share, because now I post more about God, about Jesus, about how about I share how did I go from grief to on fire for Jesus. So this is what it is. This is testimony time. I want to say a few things first. Okay, first thing is I will be mixing languages: English, Kirundi, and French. Second thing is, for context, I grew up in a Christian home. We used to go to church, but for me, now that I think about it, it felt more like a family time, because we would all go to church together. I knew there was a God, but I did not have that personal relationship. So that's a bit of context. So, as I say, I will be mixing languages, kandi nukuri ndashaka ko abarundi bacu bumva ibintu bimwe bimwe nza kuvuga. Bref. So, as I said, a lot of people got to know me when natanguye kuvuga about grief on Instagram. And j'étais à une saison de ma vie where I was going through it. Yeah. But I had just understood that I was not the only one. So I really wanted to bring that awareness so people realize people are hurting outside. So please be as nice as you can. Heal so you don't hurt other people, Bref, I was 17, almost 18 when my dad passed. I'm a firstborn. Somehow, j'ai senti que je devais être the one to be strong. Je devais être forte. Je devais this and that. I was like, yes, I'm strong. Aha. So fast forward, I come to Canada, 2020, COVID hit. Until then, honestly, I would think about my dad. I was hurting. I was not understanding. I was starting to see changes in my family. I was like, God, what is this? So 2020 hit, COVID, we do not go anywhere. So I feel like it was a time for me to actually sit with my thoughts. Kuko defora shokwi bagiza when you're always, de lundi à vendredi jakukadi nibiki. So it hit, and nuvumenga niwo mwanya naronse kwicarana n'amapense yanje. And everything rero biragaruka, everything ibyo nashaka kwamfonsa byose bikaza, and it really hurt me a lot. I tried kubivuga ko ntameze neza, mais ce que j'entendais n'était pas réconfortant. Du coup, ça a fait que nchani yugarana. Ça a fait que je me dis, you know what, no one will understand either way, so just shut up and deal with it alone. But that's not how it works, right? So voila, 2020, I'm able to open up to a friend. For the first time, I feel heard. But that was the end of 2020. 2021, March 2021, I meet a friend. She's a blessing. She was the very first person to ask me specific questions about grief, about how am I living it, about, and I was like, wow. Je pense que that was the beginning of something great. That was the beginning of my healing journey, I would call it. And that was almost, 3 years after? Of course, she had gone through it, and mind you, after me, but she was, I guess, more mature. Arambaza, tamubwira, chandumva ko, erega y a des gens qui peuvent me comprendre. That happened, mugo, of course, ntibigutwara mubabaro, right? Mais au moins, je savais maintenant that I had people that I feel safe sharing with. Voila. And then after, with that friend nyene, we build a community. I would call it that way. Nukuri, I was hurting. Man, I was hurting. I was crying every single time, every single day. I was questioning God. And I tried to numb my pain. Kuko kubura umuvyeyi birababaje. On va pas se mentir. Kubura umuntu itself birababaje. Imagine kubura umuvyeyi. Et personnellement, j'étais une fille à papa. Maintenant, numva umenga ubuzima nta sens bugifise, numva umenga kandi urumva haraba ama changes menshi iyo ubuze umuntu, haraba ama changes menshi financially. Yeah, that would be another testimony. But God is a provider, right? So, haraba ama changes financially, haraba ama changes mu muryango, et on va pas se mentir. Natwebwe as a family, each one of us changed. My mom changed, my siblings, umwe wese arahinduka ukwiwe. I also changed. Kuko urumva umwe wese araca abababaye ukwiwe, kandi amagrief yacu ntasa. We live in a society ikubwira yuko, oh, after a year, mwagandutse, you should be over it. No, bro. There is not a time for grief, right? So vraiment, ibyo byose byaranduhisha le fait que umenga ni taboo. Nanje rero I was so angry that at some point, because I knew people were uncomfortable, I was like, yeah, let me just drop it in. Ugasanga ndavuze ibintu by'urupfu, ndavuze papa, I was hurt, right? I was doing everything from a place of hurt. Hanyuma ukacibona abantu bari uncomfortable. I told you I was hurting. I really was hurting. Kandi nari ngeze ahantu je ne voulais plus me marier, because how can I get married and my dad is not there on my wedding day? Make it make sense. Why would I go and have kids when the father might die, when I might die? I felt like it isn't safe to bring someone else in. I really was seeing everything from a place of hurt. Kuburyo, even things that are not to hurt me, you know? Amajambo. Imagine Jean kubwira umuntu, I miss my dad, akaca kubwira ati, oh, me haraheze umwanya, you should, be over it, you should, des trucs comme ça. So vraiment, narabwiwe amajambo ababaje, narabwiwe amajambo akomeretsa, ariko maintenant, je comprends que les personnes qui m'ont dit ça, qui m'ont dit ayo majambo ababaye, nabo nyene babivuze from a place of hurt. You know the saying that says hurt people, right? So, of course, kandi nanje, because I was hurting, ibintu vyose nabibona muri ayo maso ya hurt yanje. Et je tiens à dire que everything nabona, everything I heard, everything I felt, ivyo nibaza ngo nukuri uko ico gihe siko kuri. So everything I felt, yes, my feelings were valid, as we say, but they were not the truth. Okay? So I felt like Imana yaraduhevye ko yadutwaye papa. I felt like so many things, but that was not the truth. Kandi Satan, parce qu'il sait que you're hurting, aguma planta murayo malaise nyene akwereka yes. Like, ukumva uri abandonné. En fait, the devil ichikorera kuri identité yawe. Hari umuntu yigeze kumbwira ngo, no, I think babimbwiye twice. When they see me, they see grief. I was like, I know I have a big forehead, mbega vyanditse ngaha grief canke, but of course I knew yuko ari kubera ko moi j'en parlais openly, alors que hari abantu batabivuga openly. Et justement parce que j'ai commencé à en parler sur les réseaux, sur Instagram, hari abantu banyandikira, même des gens que je pensais that have it all together, bamerewe neza, they were also grieving, they were also going through something hard, and that's one nukuri numvise umenga no bringing awareness y'ivyo bintu. Mugabo, again, the devil irazi comment attaquer. So aho nurumva naraza kuri social media nkavuga nkaca ngena nkarira nkabwira Imana, none Imana kwereka iwemera ko duca muri ibi bintu, why this, why that. Basha, I was igikomere cigendera. Ce qui veut dire que I also think I hurt some people on the way, and ariko nari mbabaye pe. Nari mbabaye ibintu ntashobora kubabwira, parce que I could not picture a life I could not picture yuko umunsi umwe jewe nzoba ndyohewe. I could not picture yuko umunsi umwe jewe nzoba ndiko ndashima Imana. I could not picture, urumva, je sais pas comment vous le dire. Ariko I knew there was a God. Kuko urumva twaragenda gusenga. Je vous ai dit, j'avais pas de relation avec Dieu. I tried to numb my pain, as I said. Naragerageje kubinywera. Alcohol did not work. I tried weed. Weed did not work. I tried so many things that did not work. And my friends suggested me to try therapy, which I did. I started therapy on December 2nd, 2021 for a whole year until December 2nd, 2022. Chaque dimanche, j'ai commencé par les dimanches. Chaque dimanche, j'avais une session. Après, c'était les jeudis, except pendant un mois where I was muhira. So, je vous dirais que mon thérapie naride a lot. Mon thérapie niho nide ko c'est normal kombabaye. Niho nide ko my feelings were valid at that time. Niho nide yuko I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy for talking about it. I'm not crazy for feeling that way. I'm not crazy for kwama mbona umenga someone else is, you know, hariho ufite umaze kubura umuntu ucugira ya trauma yo kumva umenga who is next, you know, ukaguma uri kuratinya kundi muntu wawe agira apfe. And something else, I was attracted to all the men. Like, I was attracted to all the men. Listen, I needed a dad, right? So all that, hanyuma, I just say I talked about it with my therapist, and honestly, if you ask me, even now that I'm saved, I recommend therapy. I recommend therapy because it helps you understand. So it helped me understand yuko ibyo bintu ndiko ndacamwa ama stages ya grief. It helped me understand how deep my pain was, and it made me realize yuko à ce moment-là nari ndushe tellement parce que before losing my dad hari ibindi bintu nabayemo nkiri umwana, genre growing up byahinduye my inner child, and that's the reason why nari numva ndemerewe kuko nivyo bintu sinadirinze navyo, but my brain ntabyo yari izi. But that's a story for another day. My brain ntabyo yari izi, mwumva hagiye ko no guca no kubura papa vyari, kandi je vous ai dit j'étais une fille à papa, so on va pas se mentir, genre relation umukobwa agiraniye na papa wiwe iramwafekta, genre même ma relation agira akuze, right? Et moi à un moment it was, you know, it was beautiful, it was safe. I really was a spoiled child. And this is not to brag, but this is to say yuko I went from that to a completely different life in just like this. On ajoute how hard it is kwiadapta ushitse mu kindi gihugu. I came here at 18 nibikinarinze, you know. So ivyo byose struggle yo kuba ngaha vraiment nari ndemerewe, kandi urumva with that relationship I had with my dad, numva umenga niwe nomubwira akumva certain choses that my mom would not understand. Hamurumva biraruhisha nukuri, biraruhisha when you were used to tell everything to someone, hamubunye ntagihari. Ngarunga promotion ku kazi, I wanted to call my mom and my dad ndababwire so bad, like nkiyumvira the memories, ngurumva nkashobora kubwira umwe gusa ubundi sindamubwire, that would hurt. Ukabona people getting married, their dads bariko baraba walking down the aisle, that would hurt. Ukabona just random people ukabona ari kumwe n'abapapa wabo, apanda be like man abandi urabapermeta kubwira abapapa wabo gushika hariya hose, like why not me, why not my siblings, you know, des choses comme ça vraiment. So nari mbabaye, mugabo therapy made me understand yuko vyariko biraba justement kubera nari mbabaye, vyariko biraba kuko that's what we call grief, right? Hanyuma it brought me relief. Bash nukuri numva umenga ndaruhutse no kumva ko ntari umusazi, ndaruhutse no kumva yuko umubabaro wanje uri normal, ndaruhutse no kumva yuko ni ikintu kigoye tellement, nico gituma ahubwo abantu bamwe batanabivuga kuko nta majambo bafise. Mugabo nta mahoro therapy yampaye, nta munezero therapy yampaye. Therapy kore made me understand ibintu byinshi, yanafashe réaliser que I was losing my inner child. So j'étais comme and chanumva nshaka to get closer to my inner child again, to kugarukana my inner child again. So that's when I was like, you know what, go on solo date, iga kumenya Nobela, basha narimvira petite Nobela nkarira, juste pour vous dire, narimvira nka Nobela wa je sais pas wa 10 ans, wa undi yagenda gukina n'abandi bana nkarira, nkabona yuko she was not ready for ibintu byose yaciyemo. She was not ready for ayo trauma. She was, God, we're not going to cry today. Mais juste pour vous dire, numvise umenga jewe Nobela wa 22 years old to Nobela mutoyi kumuba hafi, kumubona ko she sees her, nkiyandikira utulettre leader me, nkandikira vraiment des choses comme, like everything she needed at that time and that she did not get, you know. Après ça, I was like, I'm actually going to start going on solo dates. Nimenye, ega sinari niyizi wash, nimenye, kuko urumva as a firstborn ukura ushira abandi imbere, not wewe. So numva umenga kandi urumva kubera umenyereye to give, you also do not know how to receive. So at the end of 2022 nari namenye, like everything I expected therapy to do for me yari yabikoze except kumuha amahoro n'uyo munezero. And ndavuga, okay, I'm gonna go on solo dates, and it is on my first solo date that God met me and that I gave my life to Jesus. It was in January 2023. Hanyuma, I met God as my father. That's when I met God as my father. 2023 was a year natahuye so many things. That's when I got to realize rwa rukundo rwose papa wanje yama, kwa kumfinisha byose papa wanje yama. En fait, it was not him. It was God doing it through him. Byaratumye mpindura perspective. Yama memories nahora niyumvira kambabaza, naciye ntangura kwiyumvira nkashimira Imana ku rukundo yampaye à travers papa wanje, nkashimira Imana ko yari izi ibyo nkeneye as a little child, irampa uwo mupapa nkunda, kuko urumva justement parce que narinzi Imana narinzi urukundo ruri safe k'umupapa wanje, it was not hard for me to see God as my father, kandi n'ukuri yaranyiyeretse as my father. Hariho nk'ahantu genre nk'ikizwa, nagiye and I saw nyene a girl singing and her dad acaraza aramufata, nyene bariko bara worshipinga together, and shetani kirambwira ati wewe you will never experience that with your father, you know. And urumva n'ibintu nyene birababaje singira ndabeshe birababaje, ariko chandumva n'ijwi ry'Imana rimbwira you will experience so much more. I am your perfect father. So that's when I understood nukuri yuko God sees my pain. The verse that I was holding on to ni 1 Peter 5:7 ivuga, give all your worries to God for he cares about you. Ashanari suramu matami diswa. Kukurumba I had understood now yuko God cares about me, right? So vraiment je dirais que c'est là que la restauration a commencé. Ndatangura kubona yuko life is worth living. Mes pensées zari zahindutse. I was no longer seeing everything from a place of hurt. So naratahuye yuko hurt people. Vraiment c'est là que natahuye ko ari Imana ari umubyeyi wanje. And you know, turaca mu bintu byinshi, right? Pour moi ce qui était dur c'était ama memories naronse na papa. Uyundi muntu arashobora kuba atanaronse n'uwo papa akaba yarapfuye kera akiri umubebe, so ntazi that. Uyundi muntu ugasanga uwo mubyeyi yari amufise ariko ashera umuntu mubi canke n'umuntu mubi. All that Imana irashoboye kubidukiza, nta kintu na kimwe Imana idashoboye kutubwira kuko he is our perfect father. Peut-être vous pouvez vous demander, ok, none ubonye ko wakijijwe, does it mean yuko wiyumvira papa wawe hama ntubabare? Of course I do. I do think about my dad. I think about him sometimes, I cry. Sometimes I think about him and I laugh. Mugabo, juste pour vous dire, la différence maintenant, c'est que Jésus nukuri yarampaye espoir. Yarampaye espoir yuko ubuzima buraryoshe. Yarampaye espoir yuko he loves me. Urumva, despite everything that I can go through. Imana irankunda. Aho sinavuga ngo nta mariage nzogira. Ibyo byose Imana yarabikuyemo. Aho hose nabona abandi bantu bari kumwe n'abavyeyi babo bikambabaza, ivyo Imana yarabikuyemo. Ibindi byose byoba biriko biraba around me ntaco bimbwiye, you know. So vraiment Imana yarankuyemo ako kantu ko kubabazwa n'ikintu cari cyo cyose, kuko yaramalayizi ya shetani, kandi nuko shetani akorera mu mubabaro. Et il y a peut-être des choses que j'ai dites nyaruta, il y a peut-être des choses que j'ai dites sur la surface. Nukuri, let me know if you have any question. I feel like my second video is going to be about answering questions. Oh, something else I wanted to add. Nababwiye ko barigeze kumbwira yuko when they see me, they see grief, right? Guess what they tell me now? Guess what they tell me now? Darunga ma compliment menshi ambwira yuko they see God's joy muri jewe, yuko joie yanje ikontamina, yuko I'm full of joy. So I really thank God for that. Abahora bariko bararira, ubu bariko baratwenga, bazanye indirimbo zishimye, baterana impunununa, bavuga bati nukuri ni Imana y'akandi karyo, ni Imana ihindura amarira, ni Imana ihindura deuil, ahari deuil ikashira umunezero, ahari deuil nukuri y'amahoro n'umunezero ntari mfise, Imana yarabimpaye, impa so much more than I expected. Impa gusubira gukunda ubuzima, impa gusubira kuba full of life. Ibyo shetani byose yari yaratwaye kubera umubabaro, ibintu byose that I was not able to do, now I am able to do it, kandi nukuri kwirankiza d'une façon que moi-même n'ubu biransiga. So vraiment, if you're going through it, canke ikintu kikubabaje, I just want to tell you ko nta kintu na kimwe Imana idashobora kugukiza, nta kintu, nta hantu na hamwe Imana itogukura, nta kintu na kimwe. Mugabo, are you willing kuyiha umutima wawe, korere mu mutima wawe, you know? So that was really all for this first video. I feel like I want you guys to ask me a question about anything I might have mentioned, that you would like to know more, telling something you would like to understand. The second video is going to be about questions, so feel free, ask me any question. I'll be more than happy to answer. And yeah, voila, this is it. Please like, share, subscribe, and everything else that they say. Yeah, see you in the next video. Mwah.